In this session, you will learn how to get started on TikTok, to find influencers on TikTok, and how to run ads to your Amazon FBA products. Our guest today will be Paul Harvey from Rankster. He helps Amazon brands to get external traffic. This session is part of Seller Fest online virtual event, which is sponsored by 3 companies. The first one is Carbon 6. It's a suite of tools for Amazon sellers to optimize and streamline any aspect of their Amazon business journey. You can check the link below in the description to see what tools they offer. And the next company which is sponsoring this event is Getida. They are Amazon FBA auditing company, and they help Amazon sellers of any size to maximize the FBA reimbursements. So check the link below and see their offer as well. And Quartile is also part of this event. They are artificial intelligence powered advertising optimization platform for sellers and brand owners to maximize the potential in e-commerce. And the link to Quartile and their offer you will find below in the description. And if during this session you learn something new, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'm hosting this session together with Lisette Lis. She works with different brands on Amazon as well. Hi, Lisette.
Hi, Augustus. Great to be here with you to host another very interesting session about TikTok advertising. So let's invite Paul here as well. So, Paul, before we go to today's presentation, could you first give us some information about your background and also what you currently do in the Amazon space?
Absolutely, thanks for that. So basically, I'm a long-time Amazon seller. I've been selling for over 10 years. And in that process, I've sold a lot of my own Amazon accounts, and then I've launched a bunch of Amazon seller software. And then I've also run about 2 or 3 agencies as well in the past, and I'm currently launching a few other aspects. Effectively, anything I can do to help Amazon sellers, I want to do it. Great, so this is going to be a quick presentation on why everyone needs to use TikTok. Bear in mind, I'm known kind of in the space is that I always send external traffic to Amazon listings. That's my thing. And effectively, TikTok right now is the new kid on the block. We all need to take action. So this is basically how we do that. Because in the past, we always ran rebates. This is the standard Amazon 101 in the past when it was legally allowed, how we could run rebates. And the costs were pretty much, I mean, a $20 product, you would do about 100 rebates, and it was pretty costly. And I ran a rebate service in the past, and we would on standard do at least 100 rebates per product. And it was very, very expensive for everyone. It really, really was. And then we couldn't do it overnight. We just could not do it anymore. So this is why I'm focusing on TikTok, because it is the most effective platform, because TikTok strategies are cheaper, more effective, evergreen, and repeatable. And I failed a ton, like a ton. I even created my own influencer database software, which cost me over $50,000, which absolutely failed. But we learned this to figure out what we're doing and what works and what doesn't work. So look at this. This is a campaign we actually ran in December. What's interesting is that the views, you can see, are very, very few. They really were. We didn't track how many clicks came from the views or from the videos, but it wasn't much. But what you can see is when Amazon sees traffic coming from TikTok for a gradual period of time, there's an increase in sales. I see this absolutely all of the time because a lot of TikTok users use TikTok and then open Amazon in a separate browser. I'll discuss this in a little bit later. But this is absolutely huge for Amazon sellers. So now we need to use influencer marketing. And when I say influencer marketing, excuse me, I'm using that term very loosely. And when I say influencer marketing, I pretty much refer to anyone that creates content and posts it on TikTok. That's basically it. And now this is why you need to do the same. Step 1, find influencers. And influencers are in super high demand. And anyone that's really good, even if they have maybe 1,000 followers, they will get at least 10 requests a day. So when you offer them, when you reach out to them, what is making you unique? Bear that in mind. A lot of influencers, they get so much content just arrive at their front door, they don't know what to do with it. So they take all those products and they don't even know who to reach out to. That's why they simply don't care. And the same approach that you did in high school applies to you now. Influencers right now in e-commerce are the popular kids in high school. So that, and you need to approach it that way. They're popular, you're not. It's back to dating 101. Because a good response rate, and I mean this, we reach out to anywhere between 200 to 500 influencers a day. And a good response rate, just them responding, is 15%. And even if you're using software, the same applies. Although I must say, nothing beats a well-trained assistant. A well-trained assistant, their response rate, because they're doing it manually, they can personalize it for the influencer. Their response rates are much better, but still not much better, maybe close to 30%. Still not great. The options you can use. Upfluence, I like that, but it's quite costly. TikTok Creator Marketplace is absolutely awesome because the TikTok Creator Marketplace is as TikTok, they created their own influencer database for you to access. All you need to do to access it is have a TikTok business account. That's it. And then you can access it and access all their database. And a lot of them do post for free. You can just contact them, and it's very, very easy to do that. The other options are IntelliFluence. That also works very well, but costly. There's Referrazon. I know that's one of the Amazon influence databases. I've heard good things about it. And then there's #paid. That's really good, but really, really expensive. So the next step, once you know how to contact influencers, once you know how to research influencers, the next step is how to contact influencers. Effectively, train your assistants to use those platforms. You train them because there's tons of back and forth. And normally I budget $100 per post. I'm cheap, and everyone tells me that. My wife does on a daily basis. But I really mean that. $100 per post is well below the industry standard. The industry standard is about $300 to $500 a post. I always lowball them with $100 a post. I'll say to them, listen, if your content works well, we'll bump it up, and then we can offer affiliate schemes and so on and so forth. And when you reach out to them, be prepared to be rejected a lot. Like I said, only 15% reply. And only 10%, well, actually, fewer than that, 15% reply. And of those 15% that reply, maybe 20% of that. So if you're reaching out to 100 per day, you might get 15 replying. Of those 15 replying, you might have 3 to 4 people that actually take you up on your offer. That happens a lot, and they ghost you pretty much all the time. Like I said, this is pretty much dating 101. Influencers are the hot pretty girl. We're not. And if we want to date them, they're going to ghost us because they don't want us. But basically, once you figure out what messaging works well, split test it. Keep it short. Remember, most of these influencers are on TikTok, which means, most of the influencers are on TikTok, which means their attention span is very, very short. So keep the messaging short and sweet. Excuse me. So when you're creating the content, very, very easy. Simply unboxing, how to use it, a product demonstration, any influencer type video will suffice. Don't be fussy. The aim is to get as many pieces of content as possible. Because you can tell the influencer they want to reward their audience for following them. So you can give them like a unique coupon code for 20% off, maybe a one-time use coupon code, so on and so forth. There's tons of stuff you can do with that. Then when you create the content, make sure to use Amazon attribution links. This is very, very important because you can track the sales, the conversions, the add to carts, the clicks, absolutely everything. And you get 10% back per purchase because Amazon wants external traffic to its website. So they will reward the seller with 10% back of the sale price back in your account. Then, step 4, when you await content, it's gonna take 3 to 4 weeks if you're lucky. Generally longer, and some influencers may just take your product and then ghost you. That happens a lot of the time. 30%, I have a ratio that 30% of the products I'll send out, the influencer won't respond. That happens all the time. But make sure when they do to document your sales and sessions, your page views, absolutely everything before the content goes live. That way you have a way to benchmark and you know what your sales were, what your traffic was before the influencer posted their content. Then step 5 is absolutely important. It's pretty much the easiest, and it's a strategy that no one ever uses. It's a strategy that's only native to TikTok. So TikTok allows you to turn TikTok posts into ads. It's that simple. The more posts you have about your brand, the more you can boost, meaning that the more people that post about your brand, they can give you an authorization code, which allows you to boost their content as an ad. So this is important because Amazon receives a flood of TikTok traffic, but now you get to control it. If you use influencers and rely on influencers, that's great. But the problem is the influencers are in the driving seat of the traffic. If the content does well, you do well. If it doesn't do well, you don't do well from the post. And generally, I would say close to 95% of posts from influencers do not perform well. But now that you can boost it and turn it into an ad, it absolutely can. And excuse me, what's great about this is that Amazon sees a ton of traffic coming from TikTok, from a ton of different profiles. And those are the first aspects of going viral. Hence these results. And if you look at the top sellers in beauty on Amazon, those are also the top trending products on TikTok. There's a direct correlation between TikTok and Amazon traffic. So when you create these TikTok ads, the biggest pain with Facebook is when you create Facebook ads, you always have to split test what ad, what image performs best, what call to action performs best, what text performs best, what color scheme on the images perform best, so on and so forth. It's a lot of testing. And TikTok says to you, they do not want you to create ads. They want you to create TikToks. So that's great because now when you create an ad, much like Facebook, at the very end, you don't have to create images. You can just point to the influencer post or the content creator's post, any post on TikTok that you have access to. And all you need for access is just their authorization code. And when you explain this to the influencers, you can tell them you want to run Spark ads and you request their ad authorization code. And they should want to give this to you because when you boost a post, they get more views and more followers. And hopefully you get more sales. So it's a win-win situation. And the influencers should absolutely be happy to give you those details. But what's really great about these details, about these posts, is that when you boost it, most of the content, pretty much all the content comes across as organic content, not as an ad. And that's great because you don't want your ads to look like ads. You want your ad to come across as organic content. And that's why Spark ads perform so well. In fact, in the past, I'll say about a month or so, I've run about 500 ads on TikTok, and they've all been Spark ads. Spark ads is the only type of ad I absolutely, it's the only ad I use. So that's the process, because simply then just rinse and repeat. Because right now, TikTok is equivalent to Facebook ads from 2015. It's wide open. And the more content you have about your brand on TikTok, the more links, the more traffic from TikTok Amazon will see. Influencer outreach, TikTok outreach should be as routine as PPC. And right now, from based on the campaigns I'm running, we're seeing cost per click anywhere from about 30 cents to $1. The most expensive is being $1. That being said, right now it's cheaper than PPC, and done properly can really, really help your brand scale effectively from TikTok. So, in summary, that's pretty much about it. I talk way too much, but want to give you a breakdown and answer any questions and pretty much take things further. Any questions, please let me know.
Yeah, thank you so much, Paul, for a very interesting presentation about TikTok advertising. So if you viewers enjoyed this presentation, definitely hit like to this video as well. And if you're new to OrangeClick, then definitely subscribe to our channel, because we produce content like this to help you to grow your Amazon business.
Yes, and this session is part of a SellerFest online virtual event where we have 25 experts just like Paul sharing their tips and recommendations and strategies and hacks and more. And besides all these 25 free sessions, which you can find on our YouTube channel, we also asked every expert to deliver a VIP video, which we packaged into a VIP package. You can find the link below, or you see the link on the screen. And in this package, all these experts, they are sharing additional insights, additional walkthroughs, step-by-step guides, sometimes a download sheet. There are quite few sessions about, for example, Tim Jordan is talking about bringing external traffic to Amazon, just what Paul talked now, also just from different perspective. We have few sessions talking about visuals, how to improve your photography and images you upload to Amazon product listing to get more clicks and conversions. And Paul, can you share shortly what you taught people in this VIP video?
Pretty much it's going to be about this, but at scale. How you can take these strategies right now and apply them effectively today. I don't want to waste time. I don't want to waste anyone's time. So effectively, they can take summary. They can at the end of that, they'll be able to know how to execute and run on TikTok today.
All right. So yeah, you will find the link below if you want to upgrade. And now let's have a few questions.
Yeah, let's go ahead. So the first question is about Spark ads. So can you explain a little bit more what are Spark ads? Are they regular TikTok ads, or what are they?
So Spark ads are a way to boost current content on TikTok. If you have a TikTok account, go into it and basically look in your settings. There's something called the ad authorization code. Click that. It gives you a long, weird code. You copy that code, you give it to an advertiser, and then on their ad platform, when they're creating their ads, they can just point to your content. So all their traffic will go to your content. And what's quite nice is at the end of the video, it's clickable. And then, or actually not, at any time of the video, it's clickable and will then hyperlink to your Amazon listing. So it comes across as wholly generic, wholly organic content that's clickable to your Amazon products. And all you need is the ad authorization code.
Okay, very nice. So one thing about organic posts. So do I need to create organic posts on my profile in addition when wanting to use this TikTok ad strategy?
Absolutely not. I don't have a TikTok personal business, a TikTok personal account, or even a business account, but my business has its own TikTok business ads manager account. That's what you need, and that's basically what you create when you create your business.tiktok account. When you create it to run ads, you do that, and then you get access to everything. You don't need your own TikTok, or your brand doesn't need its own TikTok account. What I do effectively with a number of brands is that to have them create their own TikTok profile and all that type of stuff takes way too much time. So rather, We take all their content, we post it on like a bunch of different profiles, and then boost it from that. Then we know what content performed best, and then we take the content, repurpose it, recreate it in their own TikTok profile, because we know then what content performs best.
Okay, good. So let's take another one. I'm already running TikTok ads and get traffic, but I do not get sales. What might be the issue?
A few things. So that's a really good question, because towards the end of the week, we ran a TikTok campaign that was simply just the user clicks on the ad, and links go straight back to the Amazon listing, and with Amazon attribution links, so we can track the stuff. What was interesting was that over a 10-day period, we probably think there's about 1,000 clicks. Of those 1,000 clicks, they all had Amazon attribution, and none of them actually of those 1,000 clicks, there were only 2 sales. So that looked like a massive failure, because from the ads, there's only 2 attributable sales. It looked like a massive failure. However, during that 10-day period was the highest period of sales for the brand for the past year and a half. What effectively happens is a lot of the TikTok traffic, they see the brand, and then they open Amazon in a separate browser, and then try to find the product and go from there. And you see a lot of times there's a lot of offshoot traffic. So a lot of traffic going to Amazon in a separate browser and finding the traffic. What I do find is if you run short bursts of traffic to your Amazon product, it won't work. I recommend at least 10 days of traffic to your Amazon product, so that way Amazon knows TikTok traffic is coming in, and then they know that this Amazon means business, because they're using Amazon attribution links.
All right, we have a few more questions. How can I research what keywords should I target on TikTok?
Pretty much any keyword research will be hashtag research. If you find a brand on Amazon that you want to copy and stuff, go into TikTok and simply copy that type of niche or that brand into TikTok, because right now Generation Z, they don't Google anymore, they TikTok. So what they want to do is that instead of actually looking and learning on Google, they will type in a word on TikTok and see what are the latest trending videos about that content and learn from that. So look at those products on TikTok, and then see what are the trending hashtags around them, and those are the hashtags for you to target.
Next question: what instructions should I share with the influencers to be sure they deliver a good video?
Okay, so now there's 2 ways to go around it. First of all, if you work with a really good influencer, they don't want guidelines, because it harms their creative flair, and that's their words, not mine. So one thing, if they're really professional, they should know what content converts, and they should be able to do it for you. But normally those influencers cost money, and like I say, I'm always cheap. I won't do that. So rather, what I do is this. Go look at what's trending on TikTok. And TikTok right now, people want to say they're original, but TikTok is basically just a copy and paste platform, because all the trending content on TikTok is basically just copied off other TikToks and so on and so forth. So you must do the same. Find what's a trending video about your niche on Amazon, or about your niche, your Amazon product. Find a trending video in your niche, and basically then break it down step by step, scene by scene. Scene 1, they show the product. Scene 2, they use the product. If it's a cream, they use it on them, so on and so forth. Copy what works right now, frame by frame. And that's the guidelines you send to the influencers. 9 times out of 10, the influencers won't do a very good job of copying, but they'll be close. And that's all you want, because the more content you get, the better effect you will get.
All right. Should I send the traffic to the product page or to the storefront?
That's a great question, because I had this debate, and basically people on TikTok don't like any frustration, no barriers to entry. They want to buy it straight away. They don't want to wait for the TikTok ad to finish. They're already on Amazon trying to locate the product. So that being said, You can send them to your Amazon storefront. That's great. But if you're talking about a particular product, remove the barriers to entry. Rather, send them directly to the Amazon product, the Amazon listing.
Next question. What are the most important metrics to analyze when advertising on TikTok?
So it's tough. It really, really is, because when you're running ads on TikTok, you can't do any pixel-based advertising. So that very is limiting. Basically, the two metrics I look for the most are CTR, click-through rate, and CPC, cost per click. My goal is to get the cost per click as low as possible and CTR as high as possible, because the click-through rate is what is the percentage of people that have seen your video and taken action. So you always want to aim for a click-through rate of anywhere between 3 and 5%. Ideally, the higher that is, the cheaper the CPC is. But ideally, those are the two metrics I look for the most, because we can't actually optimize much else, because we can't have any pixels on Amazon.
Okay, thank you for that. So regarding using the videos, can I use this video somewhere else as well? For example, in Pinterest?
Absolutely. So what I would recommend, we repurpose our videos to use on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and actually on our own Amazon listings. One good piece of content can be reused on multiple platforms and shot up and created and edited and then reused again.
Okay. And one last one to wrap up. So how much does it cost to run ads on TikTok versus using Amazon PPC?
So for me, an expensive click on TikTok is $1. So bear that in mind. But also bear in mind is that Amazon PPC has a direct correlation with ads on TikTok. For example, in the example I mentioned above, a lot of users go to Amazon and search for the product. So if you can tell them in the video how to search for the product, you can target that traffic with your Amazon PPC, meaning that if you tell them to go to Amazon and type baby grow baby blankets, brand name plus keyword, if you can do that, then you can target all the traffic that types that with your Amazon PPC. So TikTok, done properly, has a direct correlation to PPC.
Okay, so thank you so much, Paul, for taking the time to join us today and share your knowledge about advertising on TikTok. Yeah.
Thank you. And one more time, can you remind us and to viewers, how do you help Amazon sellers?
So pretty much I help Amazon sellers right now primarily through TikTok. So if you're looking to run TikTok campaigns, reach out to me. I'm always happy to take things on and take things further.
And the website of Paul you will find below in the description. Thank you very much, Paul, and bye-bye. Bye, listen.
Thank you. Chat soon. Bye.
And now I would like to invite you to watch other video where Matt Parker is sharing how you can get external traffic using Pinterest platform.